Ever feel like that whole climbing the corporate ladder thing is, well, a little outdated?
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of people are starting to feel that way.
It's like, isn't there more to life than just reaching the next rung?
Yeah.
Anyway, today we're diving into Future Perfect, a company that's helping CEOs and top execs rewrite their whole leadership story.
I like that, rewriting the story. Because it's not about scrapping the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
It's about taking all that experience and
Yeah, and using it to build something new.
exactly, something more flexible, more purposeful. And that's really what Future Perfect is all about.
So Future Perfect, they're based in London, working mostly with leaders in the UK and US. But what's their deal? What do they actually do?
They're all about CEO and senior executive development, but not in the way you might think, with like leadership seminars and those kinds of things.
Right, right. Not the typical, here's how to climb the ladder stuff.
Exactly. It's more about helping these leaders create a portfolio career, almost like a high-level freelancer, but with decades of experience at major companies.
Okay, now that's intriguing. And they have some pretty compelling testimonials on their site. One that caught my eye was Jeff Jones. We're talking big names here, Accenture, IBM, Oracle, even. But he talks about this need for balance, revenue and profit, not just chasing the next big name or the next rung on that ladder.
And I think that's a really important point. It's not just about escaping the corporate grind, although that's definitely part of it for some people. It's more about aligning your work with your values, with what really matters to you. And that's something Future Perfect really emphasizes.
And they seem to be good at it, at least according to Jeff's testimonial. Then there's Fiona Spence. Her background is wild. De Beers, Graph Diamonds, luxury brands. But she also talks about teaching and how these seemingly totally unrelated experiences actually became assets in her portfolio career.
Yeah, Fiona's story is a great example of the adaptability that's so important in today's world. Future Perfect really stresses that. You're not starting from scratch. You're taking all those years of experience, those skills, and finding new and fulfilling ways to apply them.
Right, right. And it makes sense when you think about it. These CEOs and executives, they've got decades of experience, a wealth of knowledge. Why not leverage that in different ways?
Exactly.
So how does Future Perfect actually guide this whole process? What's their secret sauce?
Well, it's interesting. Their founder talks about having this aha moment, this realization that a lot of CEOs feel trapped despite their financial success. Like they've reached the top of that proverbial ladder, but they're still not fulfilled.
Hmm, that's pretty powerful.
Hmm.
It's easy to assume that someone at the top has it all figured out, but I guess it's not always the case.
Right. And Future Perfect really gets that. They understand that external success doesn't always equal internal fulfillment, and they approach each client as an individual. There's a lot of emphasis on personalized support.
So no cookie cutter solutions here.
Hmm.
Makes sense. You're dealing with people who are used to calling the shots, not being told what to do.
Exactly. And Future Perfect recognizes that this isn't just a career change, it's a mindset shift. And that takes time, it takes support.
It's not something you can just download from a webinar, right?
Precisely. It's not something you can just download from a webinar. And that's where their 8 keys to the portfolio executive work style comes in.
Oh, right. They mention that. But we don't really get into the nitty-gritty and the stuff they gave us.
Yeah, and it makes sense. It's not just about saying go be free, it's about providing a framework.
Because these are people who are used to strategic plans, right? They're not just going to wing it.
Exactly. And that's where the portfolio executive canvas comes in. It's like a business plan, but for your career.
I like that. So
Yeah.
you're not just ditching the suit and tie, right?
Mhm.
You're approaching this new phase with the same kind of rigor and strategy.
Exactly. And it's not just you going in alone either.
Because they have that whole community aspect, right?
Exactly. You're joining a network of like-minded people.
Which is huge. Think about it. You've spent your whole career at the top, maybe feeling like you couldn't show any vulnerability, and now you've got this group of people who get it.
Yeah. They're going through the same thing, facing the same challenges.
It's that shared experience, that peer support, that can be so valuable.
Especially when you're doing something that goes against the grain, like bucking the traditional career path.
Absolutely. And it's not just lip service, right? Like
Yeah.
their whole fee structure is different.
Right. They're very transparent about that too, even highlighting how much those traditional broker fees can eat into your earnings.
Oh, yeah. They definitely don't shy away from that.
Nope. They've got that pay-as-you-go system, which seems a lot more accessible, especially if you're early on in this whole portfolio career thing.
And they have that deferred payment option, which is huge.
Yeah, especially for people who might be in a tough spot financially.
It really speaks to their commitment to supporting these executives at every stage, you know?
Yeah.
They get that even successful people can face unexpected challenges.
Definitely. It's refreshing.
It is. It's not just about the bottom line for them.
Yeah, it feels like they're genuinely invested in their clients' well-being.
Like, we want you to succeed, and we're going to do what it takes to help you get there.
Exactly. And their approach to technology is interesting too. They call themselves tactical fast followers, which I kind of love.
I do too,
Okay.
because it's not about chasing every shiny new tech toy. It's about using technology strategically.
Right. It's about what actually works, not what looks good in a pitch deck.
Totally. And
Oh.
you see that throughout their whole approach. And I think what really struck me was their emphasis on freedom and joy. It's not just a tagline.
It's baked into everything they do.
It really is. It's about redefining success.
Yeah, it's not just about the corner office and the big paycheck anymore. It's about aligning your work with your values and finding joy in the journey.
And that's a message that I think resonates with a lot of people, especially now when so many are feeling burnt out and disillusioned with the traditional 9 to
Oh,
5.
for sure. People are looking for alternatives, for a way to find more meaning in their work.
And Future Perfect is offering that. They're offering a different way forward, one that prioritizes both professional fulfillment and personal well-being.
They really are. It's pretty cool.
So how do they get the word out? I mean, we talked about LinkedIn, but what are some of their other strategies for attracting clients?
A lot of it seems to be word of mouth. They've built a solid reputation.
Yeah, because happy clients are the best advertising.
For sure. But they also have what they call a simple but powerful sales model, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, okay. Tell me more.
So they start with a no-pressure intro call, just a chance to connect, see if it's a good fit.
Keep it casual.
Exactly. And then, if both sides are interested, they offer a 90-minute consultation.
And it comes with a money-back guarantee, which is kind of amazing.
Right. It shows they're confident in what they offer.
They must be, to put something like that out there.
And they've said that a good chunk of people who do the consultation end up becoming clients, so it seems to be working.
That's impressive. It's clear they've really thought this through.
And their team structure is interesting, too. They've chosen to work with a network of part-time specialists.
Which makes sense when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
Because they need to be adaptable, able to adjust to the needs of their clients.
Exactly. And by having this pool of experts, they can cover a wider range of needs.
Without being bogged down by a huge bureaucratic structure.
Exactly. It allows them to stay nimble and responsive, which is key in today's fast-paced world.
So we've talked about their business model, their approach to technology, but what about their internal culture? Do we get any sense of what it's like to actually work at Future Perfect?
From what we've gathered, it seems like a very collaborative and supportive environment.
Which makes sense, given their whole ethos.
Right. They're not just talking the talk when it comes to freedom and joy, they're walking the walk.
Living their values.
Exactly. And I think that authenticity is a big part of their success.
It's inspiring to see a company that's not just focused on profits, but also on creating a positive and empowering workplace.
For sure. It's like they're putting their money where their mouth is, you know? It's like they're putting their money where their mouth is, you know? It's really remarkable how they've managed to create this culture that's both high achieving but also human-centered.
Totally. It's not just about working hard, it's about working smart, finding that balance.
And it's not just internal either. They're tapping into these larger societal shifts that are happening right now.
Oh, totally. Remote work, the gig economy.
Exactly. Everyone wants more autonomy, more flexibility.
But Future Perfect is actually giving people the tools to make that happen.
And they connect it back to the needs of businesses too, which I think is really smart.
Because it's not sustainable to just have everyone off doing their own thing.
Right.
Right. There has to be some kind of structure.
Right. But they argue that the traditional corporate structure, it's just not cutting it anymore. It stifles innovation, agility, all those things that businesses need to thrive in today's world.
So it's not just about individual fulfillment then. It's about creating a more effective way of working for everyone.
Exactly. And again, it's not just talk. They're walking the walk with their own team, their fee structure, their whole approach.
They really are. It's pretty impressive.
It really is. It's about aligning your actions with your values, which is something I think we can all learn from.
Absolutely. So before we wrap up, what's the one thing that really stuck with you from this deep dive? What's your big takeaway?
You know, for me, it's their unwavering belief in human potential. In a world that's becoming increasingly automated, they're reminding us that experience, intuition, those things still matter.
That's a really good point.
Huh.
It makes you wonder, could this portfolio executive model extend beyond the C-suite? Could this be the future of work for everyone, not just the folks at the top?
It's an interesting thought, right? As more and more companies embrace remote work, flexible arrangements, those skills that Future Perfect emphasizes, like adaptability, strategic thinking, a focus on personal growth, those are valuable for everyone, no matter what you do.
For sure. It's like they're giving people permission to rewrite the rules of success, to define what really matters to them, and go after it on their own terms.
Exactly. And that's a powerful message, no matter where you are in your career.
Well said. Well, we've reached the end of our deep dive into Future Perfect.
It's been fascinating.
It really has. They might be focused on CEOs and executives right now, but they're clearly onto something much bigger.
Pioneers, almost.
Yeah, I like that. Pioneers of a new way of working, a new way of thinking about success. It's been really insightful getting this behind-the-scenes look at how they operate.
It has, and I hope our listeners found it valuable too.
I think they did. And on that note, we'll wrap up this episode of The Deep Dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep innovating, and keep chasing those big, audacious goals.
And remember, the future of work is what we make it.
Couldn't have said it better myself.